Today we will learn about how we can capture entire desktop window using Visual Basic 6 application. We have already built an application for this purpose. We can see here as we launch this application, this gets the entire content of the desktop window and paint in the area of this form. If we reposition it, we again launch it, we can see the entire desktop content are painting successfully in the Visual Basic form. For this purpose we have to launch Visual Basic. Creating a standard exit new project. We are resizing the form. For this purpose we have required 3 APIs. First one is GetDesktopWindow. This will provide us handler of the desktop window. Secondly, we are required GetDC API. This is also part of user32 DLL file. This will provide the working area or paintful area of the handler. Third one, we are required BitBlt. BitBlt will use to paint the device content of the desktop into our. So let's start to code. Here we have already written these 3 APIs from the 2 different libraries. First one is user32 library and second one is GDI32 graphic device interfaces. As we have discussed before, first of all we are required to get desktop window handler. For this purpose we will use GetDesktopWindow API. Then this handler will be used to get the working area or device context of the current desktop window, and at the last we will use BitBlt to draw the entire working area of our desktop windows DC into our form. So let us start this doing into the form load event. Here is the form load event. First of all we will have required 2 variables. Let's suppose the device of window handler as long, and secondly device of window DC as long. In the next step after declaration, why we have declared these 2 variables? Because we want to save the device context and device handler in our these variables. In the next step we will have to get desktop windows handler dw and equal to get desktop window. Here we have an option already provided because we have declared these APIs. We have to just press Alt plus spacebar, and secondly we have required Windows DC, that is can be captured using GetDC, and we will have to put handler GW. Here we are required to understand these 2 lines. First line is used to get the Windows handler. Which window? This is the desktop window. and second line is used to get the device context. Of which device context? That handler we have already obtained from the desktop window. And this on desktop window function is defined in user32 library, which is a DLL file. We have already talked about this. Okay, so get it on. After doing this, we just have to use BitBlt function, providing the parameters me.hdc, me referring the current form, from which position we have to draw. This is the starting x, starting y, and how width and height should it. This we are talking about screen dot width and screen dot height, and from which working area to copy into the forms. We have already defined DWND, DWNDC, and in the last we have to provide the src copy. This is the constant parameter that is already defined in the library user manual. Here we can talk about this BitBlt parameters. This is the BitBlt parameters list. First one is to which it draw from x point, from y point. These two parameters are defining height and width of the drawing area. The sixth parameter is provided source handler or source device context. Here we can also see these two integer parameters. These integer parameters may be vary from 0 to some valid numerical values. These are the x and y of the source Windows device context, that is desktop Windows device context. And the last parameter we have already talked about this is here. We have also add a line that is called form1.auto redraw is equal to true. Why we are required this line? We will talk about this. Form.auto redraw is equal to true because whenever form load or activate, in simple we can say that whenever load or activate event is fired of form, it flushes its contents, not the controls, only the drawings or draw graphics. It flushes all, so that we have to set its auto redraw as true. Okay, we are going to run this. We have successfully completed this task to get the desktop window and paint it in our Windows application form. We have clearly talked about each and every method, API and its parameter. Later on we will use these APIs to build an extended project of drawing and animation. So subscribe our channel and keep it in our touch. Thank you.